Are you ready to master the art of paying your property tax online in Jackson County? Stay tuned as we unlock the steps to a stress-free experience. Welcome to This Explainer. We love taking complex, often tedious administrative chores and breaking them down into simple, actionable steps. And today, we are focusing on completely demystifying the online property tax payment process. Let's face it, tax deadlines can be incredibly stressful, right? Waiting in long lines at the county office or crossing your fingers and hoping your mailed check gets postmarked in time, it's a hassle most of us could absolutely do without. But the good news? Online payment portals have completely transformed this process. They're a real game changer. They offer the ultimate time-saving solution, sheer convenience, top-notch security, and, maybe best of all, immediate confirmation that your obligation has been met. So here is exactly how we're going to break this down for you today. 1. Understanding your property tax. 2. Preparing to pay online. 3. Our step-by-step payment guide. 4. Deadlines and timely payments. 5. Troubleshooting and support options. And finally, 6. Security, some real-world testimonials, and our conclusion. All right, let's dive right into part 1, understanding your property tax. So what actually is a property tax? Well, it's essentially a local ad valorem tax, which is just a fancy way of saying it's based on the assessed value of either your real estate or your tangible personal property, like a vehicle, for example. Now, what's really important to know here is that these funds stay local. They don't just vanish into some federal void. They directly fund the essential services that you and I rely on every single day. We're talking about your local public schools, the public libraries, fire protection districts, county infrastructure, and public health services. When you pay your property tax, you are quite literally investing in the community around you. Moving right along to part 2, preparing to pay online. Okay, before you even open up your web browser, you're going to want to gather a few key items. Think of it like a quick prep checklist. First up, you'll need a way to actually look up your account. The easiest way to do this is with your property account or parcel number. You can easily spot this on the upper right corner of your physical tax statement. If you don't happen to have that handy, no worries. You can usually just search by the property address or the owner's name. Next, you need to decide how you want to pay. If you're going with an electronic check or e-check, grab your bank routing number and your bank account number, which you can find right at the bottom of a paper check. Or, if you prefer using a credit or debit card, just have your card number, expiration date, and that little 3-digit CVN security code on the back ready to go. Now for the main event, part 3, our step-by-step payment guide. We're going to use the really robust My Jackson County portal in Missouri as our primary example today, because it perfectly illustrates how a seamless online tax system should work. Here is your simple 5-step roadmap. Step 1, search for your account using that property number, name, or address we just talked about. Step 2, once the system finds your account, carefully confirm the details to make absolutely sure you are paying the correct bill. Step 3, click Add to Cart. Now, actually, there's a critical rule to remember right here. If you have multiple outstanding balances, the system requires you to pay them in chronological order, so you have to pay from the oldest tax year to the newest. Step 4, proceed to check out on the cart notification window. And finally, Step 5, select your payment method, verify all those details, and hit Submit Payment. Just like that, you are done. Now let's talk fees, because this is really interesting, and it's where you can actually save yourself some unnecessary expenses. Online portals use third-party merchants to process payments, and they do pass those fees on to you. When you compare the different payment methods, there is a massive difference. An electronic check usually incurs a very low flat processing fee. In this specific case, it's just $1.25, plus a $2 convenience fee. But look at the credit and debit card option. That incurs a percentage-based fee of 2.75%. Think about it. If your property tax bill is a couple of $1,000s, that percentage fee adds up incredibly fast. So using an e-check is almost always the far more economical choice. All right, let's move to part 4, deadlines and timely payments. Missing deadlines can trigger a whole cascade of financial penalties, so please burn this exact time into your memory, 11:40 p.m. In the Jackson County, Missouri jurisdiction, if you are paying on the final due date of December 31st, your online payment must be completely finalized before the system closes at exactly 11:40 p.m. to be considered on time. Seriously, don't wait until 11:55 p.m. or the system is going to process it the very next day, and unfortunately, you will be marked late. To expand on that just a bit, December 31st is the standard hard deadline for property taxes in many jurisdictions. As soon as the clock strikes midnight on January 1st, your account officially enters delinquency, and penalties are immediately applied. But it doesn't stop there. Interest will continue to accrue on your unpaid balance month after month after month. It's like a snowball effect. And if the delinquency is prolonged, the county is legally obligated to take action, which eventually leads to tax liens being placed on your property. And ultimately, the whole shebang could end with your unpaid parcels being auctioned off at public tax sales. Paying online, on time, easily prevents this entire nightmare scenario. Up next is Part 5, Troubleshooting and Support Options. Look, sometimes technology just doesn't cooperate. If you run into a roadblock, the absolute best way to get help is to know exactly who to call. If you're struggling with the digital platform itself, say the app is freezing, you can't log in, or your cart isn't loading, that's a technical issue. You should contact the software provider, pay it, directly at their 800 number. However, if the website is working totally fine, but you think your assessed value is wrong, or maybe a payment you mailed earlier isn't showing up, that's a statutory tax question. For that, you need to call the actual Jackson County Collection Department. Dividing your inquiries this way is absolutely crucial. It'll save you from being bounced back and forth between different customer service reps. And finally, we've reached Part 6, Security, Testimonials, and our conclusion. It is totally normal to feel a little hesitant about typing your bank info into a website. I get it. However, official county portals like My Jackson County utilize the absolute strongest protections available for online payments today. Every single piece of your data is strictly encrypted to protect your privacy. Furthermore, they maintain really strict policies that your personal data is never, ever shared or sold to third parties. And honestly, perhaps the best security feature is the instant peace of mind you get. The exact second you hit submit, an instant, printable digital receipt is generated and permanently stored in your profile. You have immediate, undeniable proof of payment. This really hits the nail on the head regarding the real-world impact of these systems. Just listen to what a resident named Brad C. had to say. He said, "Fast and legit, super easy to use. I paid my property taxes on my lunch break, so much easier than visiting an office." That is exactly the point, right? It transforms what used to be a tedious, multi-hour chore into a 5-minute task you can literally do while eating a sandwich. Now, a quick but incredibly important disclaimer before we finish up. We utilized Jackson County, Missouri's excellent system as our main example today. However, there are Jackson counties in Oregon, Michigan, Mississippi, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Illinois. While the general concepts of parcel numbers, online carts, and digital receipts remain pretty much the same everywhere, the exact portal addresses, fee percentages, and specific deadlines, like that 11:40 p.m. cutoff we discussed, can and do vary by state. Always verify the specific details directly with your local county's official website. So, armed with all this knowledge, the online property tax process should no longer be a mystery. You've got the checklist, you understand how to navigate the fees, and you know the critical deadlines. Now that you know exactly how easy and secure it is to pay online, what will you do with all the time you save skipping the line at the county office? Take action today, check out your local portal, and hey, if you found this explainer helpful, please share it with neighbors and friends who might also want to skip the line this tax season. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.